What I love most about working for UNICEF is the fact that we can intervene and do work all around the world. In the most remote area, we can make a difference for children.
I know my work contributes to something that serves a great purpose towards helping those who are most in need. And that's why every day at the office is something inspiring.
I wanted to work for UNICEF because it is an organization where you can make a difference in the life of children.
What I love every day when I come to work is the people I work with. I work with people from different countries, the diversity, and I learn so much about different cultures. That's what I love.
At UNICEF, you will work with dedicated and passionate colleagues to make a difference in the life of every child, delivering on the ground in 190 countries and territories, reaching the hardest to reach, the furthest from help. Our mandate inspires us to achieve results, to keep standards high, and to grow both professionally as well as personally.
What I love most about working for UNICEF is its people, the diverse culture and the energy level, and a chance to contribute to changing the lives of children in my very own small way.
Join us to make a difference for every child.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening from wherever part of the world you're tuning in. I would love to start off with a fun fact whereby, did you know that every action we take here at UNICEF impacts the lives of millions of children around the world? I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's live stream, where we'll dive into key operation roles at UNICEF with our key experts shortly. I love working here because for me, it's more than just a job. It's a mission to make a real difference in children's life. Today, we'll learn how these critical roles in operations ensures UNICEF's mission runs smoothly. I encourage you to engage, ask questions, and discover how you can be part of this incredible journey. We have the chat function box whereby you'll be able just to also let us know where you're tuning in from. Let's get started.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome to our live streaming event, Discover Your Future with UNICEF. My name is Edu Muhima, and I'm the Chief Field Strategy and Technical Support in the Division of Financial and Administrative Management, DFM. Over the next 30 minutes, we will be exploring 3 exciting opportunities available at UNICEF at the P3, P4, and P5 levels. Whether you are passionate about humanitarian work or you are looking for a meaningful career, yes, you are in the right place. Today, you are in for a real treat, and we are joined by my amazing colleagues in the Division of Financial and Administrative Management, DFM as we know it, Mr. Nazim Kizar and Mrs. Zainab Baimatova. Together with them, we will provide you with an overview of the division, take a deep look into the operation role available, and answer your questions. Before getting started, let me answer a specific question that I'm sure many of you have in mind. What is a GVA? GVA stands for the Generic Vacancy Announcements. It's a talent management pipeline for UNICEF to be able to place pre-vetted candidates into our talent group. This helps the organization achieve 3 critical things. Number 1 is it helps us to prepare the candidates and have them ready in the talent group. Number 2, it helps us to significantly reduce the time we spend on the recruitments. And number 3, it enables better results for children. Once you are a member of the UNICEF talent group, or roster as it is generally known in the public, you are pre-approved candidates for direct recruitment into our future positions worldwide. And that allows us not to have longer processes, and deploy the critical finance, management, and administrative personnel into the different countries where we work to achieve a result for children.
Hi, colleagues. First of all, I would like to thank those who are joining us today for their interest in working for UNICEF. As you know, UNICEF works in advancing children's right and well-being across the globe. UNICEF has programs and plans to ensure that children have a safe place to grow. They have access to nutrition, to education, to vaccines, to healthy environment for growth. In order to deliver these programs across the globe, UNICEF requires a very, very strong financial and administrative mechanism. The Division of Financial Administrative Management is entrusted to ensure that this happens across the globe for UNICEF. We have a large workforce that works in very, very difficult conditions across the globe to ensure that our programs are effectively delivered. The funds that UNICEF receive from our donors, we need to make sure that they are managed and used in a very, very effective and efficient manner. So these positions will be our arms and hands in the field to make sure that we are doing our work as best as we can. The work involves financial management, budget management, issues related to field support, the risk management, business continuity. There are multiple areas that the operations colleague in the field assist us. This exercise is to ensure that we can source the best talent available. UNICEF works. We really encourage women, people with different kind of disabilities to please apply. We really encourage them, and I just want to ensure you that we go through your applications and make sure that we have the best talent available to do this job.
Hello, everyone. I am Zeynep Baymatova, the Chief of Business Strategy and Operations, and currently I am working at establishing the Central Services Center here in New York headquarters. I am thrilled to be here today with you to answer your questions. If you haven't already, please submit your inquiries using the chat feature. While we may not be able to cover all of them due to time constraints, we'll do our best to address as many as possible. Whether you're curious about the specific roles, the application process, or working with UNICEF, we are here to provide the insights you need. So let's dive in. I see the first question on the screen. Can you share your personal experiences as a woman balancing work and life, particularly how support mechanisms have played a role in your career? I'd be happy to respond to this question, and thank you for this opportunity. Since I joined UNICEF in 2005, I've been consistently impressed by UNICEF's commitment to supporting its staff, particularly women, in balancing work and life. The organization has implemented excellent policies that truly prioritize our well-being. From my personal experiences, initiatives such as flexible working hours and remote work options have been invaluable because they have allowed me to manage my professional responsibilities while also attending to my family commitments. Additionally, UNICEF has a robust set of policies, for example, extended maternity, paternity leaves, and many others, catering for the well-being of staff. In UNICEF, I had great opportunities to have the access to mentorship programs and networking opportunities, especially among senior women leaders, and that helped a lot in my career. I participated in the leadership development programs, in joint UN women manager trainings offered for staff. I've been supported during my sabbatical when I moved to US to continue my studies to get my second master's degree. And UNICEF was an amazing supporter in that process. Overall, I believe UNICEF sets a strong example among other organizations in how effectively to support their employees, particularly women, in navigating the complexities of professional work and life. Let me look at the second question. With regards to supervision, can you share what it's like to manage a multicultural team and contribute to your success? It's a great question. With my experience in working in different countries, such as South Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda. I had the privilege to work with multicultural teams, but also manage them. And believe me, it was a rewarding and enriching experience. One of the most significant benefits I found is that diverse perspective and ideas you get from each team member. And it definitely fosters creativity and innovation in our work. In my role as operations officer, later finance administrative manager, and chief of operations, I always try to prioritize creating an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and heard. And this involved, of course, encouraging open communication, seeking inputs from teams, and contribute to our collective goals. Overall, I believe that embracing diversity within the team has been instrumental in achieving our objectives in UNICEF and fostering a positive, productive work environment. I have another question, which is very interesting, and I'd like Nazim, if you can answer this. How does growth and career progression at UNICEF look like?
Sure. So, as an international organization, UNICEF really offers a lot of opportunities for staff members to grow in their career. I can just give you my own example. I started from a country office in the UN system. Initially that was at the country level, and I have really kind of in the last 20 years almost moved between 6 to 7 jobs of very, very exciting work in different fields. I think as you join the UN system and UNICEF in particular, you will obviously know as soon as you start, your career paths, and you have your colleagues and your seniors and your mentors who are there to assist you. Of course, in the UN system, of course, the career progression is not automatic. So, while the organization invests in you, you also have to take charge of your own career. You have to really see what interests you more. There are many fields, and you need to see what your experience is leading you to. So it's a very, very interesting way the organization works, because we need to ensure that people who have good capacities, competencies, and are delivering results have an opportunity to grow. So it is a risk and reward kind of a thing. The better you are able to perform, the more you're noticed and you grow within the organization. So you get the opportunities to develop, to train, to do different courses, and to you really interact and polish your skills. But at the same time, you need to be able to plan what you want with your career. I think my other colleagues would also like to come in. Maybe Edu, you would like to say something about it, because this is an area very dear to you as well.
Thank you very much, Nazim and Zainab, for that great description. I mean, in terms of your career, just to add, remember that you have people who have walked the talk before, people who have experience in different contexts, people who have come from the private sector as well, and the people also who have been in emergency duty stations, people who have worked in the development settings, and so on. So I see a career at UNICEF really as a mission. If you are passionate about, the child rights, ending the suffering of children all over the world, this is the place to be. And being in the operation function, it gives you an opportunity really to add your critical skills in the areas of value for money, value for risk management in terms of how we implement our programs. So you have that great opportunity, and you'll be able to work with coach mentors, as my colleagues have just highlighted.
That's great. Thank you, Nazim and Edo. The next question is around the corporate and private sector background. Can I work for UNICEF if my experience has been from the corporate private sector? I personally, having joined UNICEF from the International Financial Institution Asian Development Bank, it not only helped me to have a smooth transition to UNICEF and UN system, but also gave me a comparative advantage in fulfilling effectively my role in UNICEF. What do you think, Nazim?
Yes, Zainab, I fully agree with you. In fact, I would like to share with the colleagues, when I joined UN System, I was working with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and it was a big move for me to move from the private sector into the UN system. And there were times when you had differences in the way, as the private sector work. We had the international accounting standards. I'm just talking about finance as my area. um, but over the years, UN system has really grown in terms of the professionalization of different roles and functions. Again, from a finance perspective, all our financial statements are now compliant with the international public sector accounting standards. So, um, in the past, if you had any hesitation in terms of joining UN system, you don't know where are you going, what will be your employability outside of UN after a few years, and these kind of questions that people sometimes experience, I just want to share that UN system and UNICEF offers now you the most state of the art opportunity to work in the environment where you are really exposed to the best standards, the industry standards, whether you are in human resources, or you're working in finance, or you're working in information technology. So I think it has been a great experience for me to move into this career. It's a very fulfilling career when you see that what you're doing is making an impact in this world. And when you're working for children, I think there's no better satisfaction.
That's great. Thank you, Nazim. Edu, would you like to add a few comments?
I would. And I guess I would also take on a couple of questions from the chat, which I see our audience is really engaging in. One question is, how do you stand out? And how do you make your application stand out in the many applications that UNICEF receives? So number one, like the same way you would do for any other position, please make sure that you fill up your application completely and highlighting your qualifications, whether it's in finance, administration, human resources, information technology, or supply chain management. Highlight those qualifications. If you have any certificate, please do put it in to showcase the certification process you've gone through. Secondly, remember to highlight your experience and also describing what kind of achievement you've had throughout the years. And number three, preparing for interview is similarly the way you do for any other job in the private sector. Engage with the organization's strategic plan. Read any publicly available information about the organization, in this case about UNICEF, our passion, our mandate for children, and also look at our core values. Those are some of the pointers that are going to be very helpful as you try and reflect your experience, how that will add value to UNICEF. So those will be some of the tips which I will give you in terms of standing out in the recruitment process. And in this GVA, we will be organizing information sessions for candidates to help them prepare and have really a good candidate experience with this UNICEF process.
That's great, Edu. I think for the next question, you would be the best place to answer. What qualities do you value most in candidates for this position? And what can candidate do to stand out during this application process?
Absolutely. Let me just add to a few more points here. One is our core values. We really look at candidates who care about our mandate, who have a passion for children. We look for candidates who really respect others, respect the diversity. We work in many places in the world, and that gives us an opportunity really to influence other cultures as well as get influenced. We look for candidates who enhance transparency, who are very strong at accountability. Those are our core values. Also, recently we've noticed that climate change has become a big topic. And so candidates who will be able to advance our priorities in areas like environmental sustainability and climate change. Those are some of the key values that will be very important as you try and embrace your career with UNICEF.
Thank you very much, Edu. Nazim, do you have any points to add?
Yeah, I think for a UN job, when you're applying for a job, you really need to read the job description very carefully, because that is what will give you an idea of what we are looking for, and what is it in your experience, in your educational background, that really meets those requirements. So I always advise everyone who asks me, I always ask them to look at the job description and see it's not about this job only, but any other job. look what is being what the recruiter is looking for, and make sure that you are able to tailor your application in a way that highlights your relevant experience and educational
Thank you very much, Edu and Nasim, and thank you all for your questions. Before we wrap up, here are some tips for applying to these roles. Maybe I'll summarize what my colleagues have said so far. Though the United Nations has 6 working languages, please submit your applications for these positions in English. Also, make sure to tailor your application according to each post. Highlight relevant experience, skills that match the job description. Complete the online form with required details. Showcase your impact. Provide examples how your work has made a difference in previous roles. Prepare for interviews. Although you might not know whether you'll be invited or not, we recommend familiarize yourself with UNICEF mission, core values, competency framework. All this information you can find on our website, UNICEF Careers page. The application deadline is 30th September, so please make sure to get your materials on before the deadline. Wishing you all the best. Be brave, be smart, and apply to UNICEF.
Wow, such an insightful conversation. Unfortunately, all good things has come to an end, but we acknowledge all the questions, and we will be able to address all the questions and concerns or any issues on our campaign page. Thank you all for joining us. We hope this session has provided valuable insights into the operations roles at UNICEF and inspired you to consider applying. Remember, this position are not just jobs, they're opportunities to make a real impact on children's lives worldwide. If you have any further questions or need additional information, feel free to reach us out via our website or social media channels. Don't forget to register and apply by 30th September. We look forward to seeing your applications and possibly welcoming you to our team. And before we sign out, I would love to also just add something whereby there's no job description or press release that can be better described. What is it that UNICEF does to its own people themselves can? What does it mean to work with the largest humanitarian organization in the world? What does it take and includes you to join this mission? Don't forget to register and apply by 30th September. We look forward to seeing you. Have a great rest of the week, and thank you once again for your interest in UNICEF.
Hello everyone. Are you an experienced operations professional passionate about creating impactful and sustainable solutions? If so, we have exciting news for you. We are thrilled to announce that we just advertised the generic vacancy announcement for operations professionals. We are seeking individuals who are not only skilled in operations, but also share our commitment to making a real difference. If you are ready to contribute to our mission, explore these opportunities and take the next step in your career with us. To learn more and apply, please visit our website. Let's achieve great things together.
Unreasonable. It's how you have to be if you want to change things. Relentless. Tenacious. The world's children need people like that. People who see impossible as incentive to try harder. Who find one good reason to keep going in the face of 1,000 reasons to stop. So, shout out to the hardcore, because big problems need big solutions from big game players. You know the type. The determined, the persistent, the unreasonable. UNICEF, in more than 190 countries and territories, we never give up until the rights of every child are protected. Are you with us? UNICEF, for every child.